I'm about to share with you the exact strategy that I use to scale this client's Facebook ad campaigns from $97,000 in revenue at a 1.4x ROAS all the way up to $357,000 in revenue at a 3.7x ROAS, which completely changed the trajectory of this business. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. I've personally spent more than $50 million on Facebook ads for clients and generated more than $200 million in revenue. And you don't get to those sorts of numbers without knowing how to scale Facebook ad campaigns the right way. But the thing is, most Facebook advertisers are still falling into two super common mistakes, which I'm going to show you in this video. And one of them is really easy to avoid. You just have to know what to look for. Okay, so one of the reasons why Facebook advertisers really struggle to scale, and I should quickly define that. When I'm talking about struggling to scale, I'm talking about struggling to scale profitably. Obviously, anyone can just whack the budget up, but what we want to do is be able to scale in a way where it still makes sense for our business. We're not acquiring customers at too high a cost for it to be profitable for our business, right? So that's what I mean when I say struggling to scale. And the first reason I want to talk about here is volume, or what I should more specifically say, lack of volume. And here's what I mean by that, right? So I speak to Facebook and Instagram advertisers all the time. And one of the questions I will very often ask people is, how many new ads are you creating? And often they'll say something like, I create 2 new ads, 3 new ads a month, 4 new ads a month, something like that. Or perhaps they don't have a specific schedule. They just wait until the results drop off and then they go, oh, okay, I need to make some more ads. And that's their approach to new ad creation. Now, here's the thing. The best Facebook advertisers in the world create 50, 20, 30 or more new ads per week. And that might sound extreme, and obviously depending on your budget, if you're operating with a much smaller budget, then that doesn't make sense. That would be overkill. But the principle remains the same. They absolutely are going after volume of new ad creation. And here's why. You probably can't scale because your ad isn't good enough to convince people to convert, whether that's purchase, become a lead, whatever, unless they are hyper responsive. So really into whatever it is you have to offer. When your ad works and is profitable to a small segment of your audience, so you're not spending very much, Meta's really good at finding out the best possible prospects, and it's going to put your ads in front of those people first. As you spend more and spend more, you go from the people that are absolutely super keen, love everything to do with that industry, buy every ad that pops up, to people that are still pretty good prospects, but slightly less keen. And then you scale further and you go from them to people that are slightly less keen again, and slightly less keen again, and it goes on and on and on. So if your ad is a mediocre ad, perhaps it's good enough to get those hyper responsives right at the center of that circle to convert. But as you go out into those other tiers, it probably isn't good enough. Now, the only way to create exceptional ads and get really, really good at creating ads for your specific business and your specific audience is to get the reps in. Is to create tons of them, put them live, see the data, learn, analyze, rinse, and repeat. So let me give you an example to hopefully make this a little bit easier to understand it and sort of clarify the thought process around this. So let's say you've got a new campaign and you've launched 10 new ads. Now, obviously, one of those 10 ads is going to perform best. That's probably going to get the majority of the budget, whether you manually force that or whether Meta does that for you. And with that ad, you found that you can scale up to about $100 a day. But you can't really go any higher. If you do, your profitability starts to drop and you end up paying too much to acquire a customer. Basically, you are using a 1 in 10 ad to get you to $100 a day. Now, if you want to scale significantly past that, let's say you want to go up to $1,000 a day, you might need a 1 in 100 ad. The quality of the ad needs to go from a 1 in 10 ad to a 1 in 100 ad. Now, the only way to discover, to stumble across a 1 in 100 ad, and that's usually the way it works, by the way, is you're testing a bunch of stuff and you don't necessarily expect it to work amazingly well, and you just sort of stumble across something that works really well for your specific business and your specific audience. Well, anyway, the only way to get that 1 in 100 ad is to create 100 ads and create all those ads that don't work, and you learn lessons and you refine your approach and you get to the point where you have a 1 in 100 ad. And then maybe that allows you to scale up to that $1,000 a day mark. But if you then want to go to the next level and you go, right, $1,000 a day is great, but our business would be completely transformed. We go to a whole nother level if we could spend $10,000 a day. Maybe to do that, you need a 1 in 1,000 ad, because I can absolutely assure you, if you go ahead and create 1,000 ads and put proper time and effort into creating those, one of those is going to deliver incredible results. Just the law of numbers, you're going to do it accidentally, even if nothing else. I mean, of course, you want to try and help the process along and take a look at what you've done and allow that to inform the direction you take going forward. But just accidentally, you're going to stumble across a concept, something new that works really well, and it's just going to perform much, much better. And that 1 in 1,000 ad might literally have a 4 or 5 times better ROAS than that 1 in 100 ad, which can completely obviously change your campaign, completely change Facebook advertising, and completely change your business if you can get that ad that is that good. 1 in 1,000 ads are really good, but again, the only way to get a 1 in 1,000 ad is to actually go through the process of making 1,000 ads, which might take a lot of effort and a lot of time. And everyone wants shortcuts, right? No one wants to put in that time and effort to create 1,000 ads over the next year or 18 months to find that one that's gonna, perform exceptionally well. And you will find others that perform better than what you've currently got along the way as well. It's not like you put in all that work and then get all the reward at the end. You will have incremental gain as you go. But to be perfectly honest, often it just takes exceptional volume to get exceptionally good at creating ads. I cannot tell you how many ads I've personally been involved in creating. Our agency, we've worked with thousands of clients all over the world, all different budgets, created on average probably dozens of ads for every single client. You just get so many reps in, you can't help but get good at it if you do enough of it.
Come on, take a look at this. So this is in my mentorship program, right? In the results and wins channel. And Tara said this: in 2 weeks of joining, my ROAS went from 0.7 to 8.03, and I've only implemented maybe 30% of the feedback that's given me so far, that's just incredible. That's awesome. So Zoe up here, she joined the mentorship program with 35,000 raffle tickets. Was thinking she wasn't going to sell them, and she ended up selling out completely with 2 days to spare. And we've got loads of others in here. We've got tons of people just sharing information around how they've done well, great results they've got. If you're interested, you can click on the button beneath this video. That'll go through to a page on our website. You could book in a free, no obligation call with one of my team members to find out more information. Hopefully we get to work together. Hopefully you join and you'll be sharing fantastic results like Tara and Zoe have done just here.
Now, the other reason why Facebook advertisers really struggle to scale Facebook ads profitably, and you may have both, by the way, sometimes you have one or the other, sometimes you have both of these reasons, is because they simply don't make enough money from their customers. Their lifetime value isn't high enough, and what that means is that you can't afford to pay enough to acquire a new customer. Now, when I'm having a serious conversation with someone who is serious about scaling their Facebook and Instagram ads and wants to take it from where they are now to 10x or more where they want to go, one of the first things I'll ask them is how much more can you afford to pay to acquire a customer than what you're currently paying? Okay, so let me give you an example, right? Let's take an e-commerce business, and let's say that e-commerce business is currently generating purchases for $20 each. That's what they're costing. If I'm talking to that business owner and they say, we're currently paying $20 to acquire a new customer, $20 cost per purchase, but we could pay $25. Okay, we can scale a bit. You're certainly not going to 10x that budget. You might be able to double it, maybe, if we've got that sort of wiggle room. But if that same business owner tells me, oh no, we can pay $40 or even better, $50 to acquire a new customer because we've got great customer reactivation and our products are amazing so people buy again and they refer their friends, so we can afford to pay a lot more, that is a complete game changer. That is sort of business where I'm going, absolutely we can scale. We might be able to spend 10x, 20x. The difference in a $25 cost per purchase limit versus a $40 cost per purchase limit is massive. The $40 cost per purchase limit, you might cap out at 10 times the budget the $25 max cost per purchase business is at, simply because, remember the concentric circles, you're going out to larger and larger audiences, and as you advertise to more people, you're putting your ads in front of people that are slightly less keen and slightly less keen and slightly less keen. You can tap into that many more people because you can put ads in front of people that aren't hyper responsive, because if a lower percentage of them convert, you can pay a higher cost per purchase. That's effectively what that is. It still works for your business. Now, most Facebook advertisers don't even really know what they can afford to pay to acquire a customer, right? They haven't been through that exercise and worked it out, and that's a problem. You really should know that information. I totally get it. Like, I've been there. Most business owners are there. Most Facebook advertisers don't know this sort of stuff, but you absolutely should take the time to do it. And then within that, the advertisers that do know that number, or even the advertisers that don't know that number, hardly any of them actually spend any time trying to improve their lifetime customer value. They're not trying to increase how much a customer is worth their business. They're instead much more focused on, how do I just get the cost per result down? How do I shave a couple of dollars off my cost per purchase? How do I shave $5 off my cost per lead? That's not the right way to go about it. The pros, the experts, the people that get the best possible results, they focus on the back end. They go, how do we massively increase how much a customer is worth to allow us to pay much more to acquire a customer and make our Facebook advertising much easier and allow us to scale? Remember how I talked about that business that's currently at $20 cost per purchase If it can only go to 25, it can scale a bit. If it can go to $40 cost per purchase, it can scale massively. The only way you can afford to go to $40 cost per purchase is if you get much more out of your customers. You get them to be worth a lot more. There's a number of techniques to do that, but that is so important, and that's why the pros focus on the back end. Fortunately, I've recorded a video that shows you exactly how to calculate your lifetime value per customer and what you can afford to acquire a customer, and I share it all in this video here. It's one of the most important things for you to know as a Facebook advertiser. So I show you how to calculate it. I also show you how to improve your lifetime customer value, which we've already talked about is super, super important. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that information.